Hello, everybody. This is another 6 minute video. This is where I talk about a random topic for 6 minutes in front of a camera and a microphone, completely unscripted. It's not for likes, views, subscribers. I'm not trying to get famous or anything, but the real purpose of these is my efficiency at public speaking and just becoming a better speaker in general. So, without further ado, I'd like to get right into it. And I want to talk about prices of computers and how much they have skyrocketed. I've talked about this before, but it seems like it's getting worse every day. I bought my SSD a long time ago, maybe last year, I'd say. $60 for a terabyte. $60 for a terabyte. Do you know how much that drive that I still haven't even used yet? You know how much that goes for now? I don't even want to say. It is up to 200, 300% markup for the same item. I got a 2 terabyte one. You know how much 2 terabytes can go on Amazon for? It's absurd. It's absurd. And I don't want to talk about it, but I'm talking about it anyway because I feel like the industry has to turn around somehow, right? It is not hard to make these chips. It's not hard to make, I mean, I don't want to discredit the companies building these things and, Supermicro computer. Like, these are incredibly complex software, not hardware, pieces of hardware that they're making. And I don't think that anybody could just pick it up and, equalize the economy, right? But there has to be a point where you're making enough of them and people have enough of them that demand goes down to the point where, the prices match that demand curve. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that demand not only skyrocket, but just continue to grow. And we're approaching the point in where these data centers are being made and everything. And we're so far into it that you're starting to see consumers that had not previously, they had looked at these prices and said, okay, I'll buy one later. You're looking at consumers that are looking at these prices and saying, well, I need to upgrade. My computer sucks right now, and look at the prices. Like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to have to buy that. Like, we're starting to see people that were like, okay, I'm just going to wait. Now they're actually starting to seriously consider these prices, which is terrible for the consumer, right? People are not really voting with their wallets, but I'm assuming they are because you've seen wins in the motherboard category, right? Where you've seen cutting edge motherboards from like MSI, Asus, those companies just hit the absolute floor of their sales power because no one's buying it. Of course, we have to thank the CPU market, which actually hasn't been all too affected. I'll take that back. The CPU prices have been pretty okay, but they've risen anyway for no apparent reason. But the DRAM prices, it's insane how much RAM is costing people nowadays. But you got GPUs that are going through the roof. You got the RAM that is going through the roof. You've got the storage that is just for some reason going through the roof as well. You've got all three of those components going up, and you've got this new board that is housing all three of those things, like these three things that are mainly going up. And, if nobody is buying them, and I can see that, right? If the board is hitting that bottom, no one's buying that board. Therefore, no one's buying the stuff to put in the board, right? So that's like a small clue on what the economy is doing. I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't take a rocket scientist, but you got to look a little bit further in on what it is on the surface. And I think it's pretty cool to look at that and say, hey, that's cool that no one's buying that board, because when you buy that board, you know exactly the components that you're going to be putting into it. And whoo boy, right? A $4,000 computer is, a $500 computer that you bought from Walmart 5 years ago. That's what we're looking at right now. And it's pretty nuts. And like I said, I don't really want to talk about it because I am set with my computer, but I can only imagine what people are, when they're needing to upgrade right now, that, or like they're buying a computer for a friend, building one for a friend, you know, it's going to suck. It's going to really, really suck. And the Steam Machine being the price that it is sucks. The price hikes on Xbox, the price hikes on PlayStation consoles are not an enemy, or they're not, what do you call it? They're not familiar, not unfamiliar with these rising prices in the market. But I don't really have a whole opinion about this. I'm just saying this is pretty crappy stuff, and I really hope that it turns around here pretty soon. I mean, you're seeing companies like Lenovo start buying Chinese RAM, and if China steps into the market with some of these components, I would have no problem with it. I would really have no problem with buying Chinese RAM, because what are they going to do? Put a virus on RAM? I guess they potentially could. It is a security flaw, RAM, but the purpose, like, there's nothing that you can store on these that people wouldn't know about really, really fast. Like, these are very naked modules. There's nothing to hide. So I would not mind buying RAM from China. I would not mind buying, maybe not storage from China by all means, but GPUs, RAM, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I'm just needing raw processing power, 100%. The storage, I might take another step, another year for me to actually buy into that. But that's another 6-minute video for you guys. See ya.